Wait a minute, what happened to my screen here? Okay, I think that works. Let me verify that this is working. Okay, that seems to be fine. So I want to start. Okay, I think that works. Wait, hang on. I've been having no end of trouble today with KDE. I think I'm going to abandon KDE. All right, so I want to start building a service for the back end of my Read It Later app that's going to do the manipulating of the HTML document so that I can read it. Mozilla has a readability service that they have open sourced on GitHub. It runs on npm. I think I'm just going to use that. Yeah, I misspelled it. Here we go. That has to run on Node, so I don't really have an option. I'm just going to try to run it as a service that takes in an HTML document and outputs an HTML document, and that's all it does. And I think I'm supposed to run DOM Purify. I'm not sure to what extent that really matters because I'm going to get rid of scripts, but it might matter for some of the rendering stuff like math or something else. Let's see. So we've got this stuff like math table. I don't know if that matters. So, okay. So if there's uppercase table, it becomes, oh, okay. So for example, here, table with no E is not a valid tag. And so it becomes the correct thing. So I guess this does make sense to use. And so I just basically have to call two functions. And let's see how well we can do that. Emacs has also disappeared. All right. So I used to have JavaScript here, and I think I deleted it. So let's add it back. I think I had used Node.js maybe. I might have it in here. Let's see. Maybe I don't have it committed. Okay, that's fine. I believe this was the one that I was using. It does not have any rules for using Node.js. Using it in what sense? I don't know. If I remember correctly, rules.js is the one that's overly complicated and not very Bazel-y. So let's try using regular rules.js. There's some documentation here, but mainly I just want to copy an example. Deprecated modules. rules Node.js and Bazel at Bazel star packages are now mostly unmaintained. But the maintenance update doesn't seem to be there. A lot of these commits are a little bit old, but not all of them. Okay, so this maintained by volunteers. And it it seems like maybe the maintenance thing is uh, now they've just removed the unmaintained code, possibly. Okay. So I don't know if this will work. So there's rules.js and rules node.js. I don't want the rules.js. All right, so let's just try doing anything that seems reasonable. So I do need to somehow grab this stuff for the workspace, and maybe they have some examples here. No. Internal, external Node.js packages, scripts, tools. Okay, so that's at least the import statement. And then how do I build my build file here? So there does seem to be like a Node.js binary thing. Oh, we don't have that. What about Node.js something? What about anything binary? I know that I did this at some point. Do I have to go back in time? I'll just ask the AI, see what it says. This is so far already wrong. So I used. All right, so let's just try doing anything that seems reasonable. So I do need to somehow grab this stuff from the workspace, and maybe they have some examples here. No, internal, external Node.js packages, scripts, tools. I'll check out. See if I can see one of my older videos. If I can figure out what I did. It's been so long. And add it to another. Like, ideally, we want that to be atomic, so that if it fails, we don't enter a state where we have no audio cursor. People rules. But what I really want is to yeah, here we go. But it's not far from JavaScript. Somewhere in here. So here I'm using what? So there's here I'm using rules Node.js, which I think is what I want. And it's just got Node.js binary, which I thought was not a thing. Have I deeply confused myself? There's nothing this will do. This should fail. But I think it still might give us some useful information. So I guess I'll just try importing it. Maybe I'm using it. Maybe I'm using an old version. So this is the aspect one, which has Node.js. So there's nothing. I think there's something called document in JavaScript. So this is my package.json. If I'm understanding Node correctly. So, and in JavaScript. I think it's going to be. All right, so let's try that. And ChatGPT is actually correct. Although maybe this doesn't exist anymore. So this says that they don't have any rules, such as Node.js binary. So when did that happen? 6 months ago? Correct Node.js spelling. But what's in index.bazel? Let's check index.bazel. I don't know where that is. I also don't know what stardoc is. I guess that's maybe related to Starlark. So there's nothing, I think there's something called document in JavaScript. So there's nothing this will do. This should fail. But I think it still might give us some useful information. .json. Maybe it can be blank. It still might give us some useful information. So here, I guess I run it and it says that there's no such thing. And now what? This is the node repositories. Then I do call npm install. So it seems to want a package.json. All right, maybe it can be blank. I don't know. And begin unexpected identifier. Okay. Again, I don't know JavaScript. And what is this? Oh, it didn't like how I moved stuff. Why not? Huh. Oh wait, I already called npm install. Right? Yeah, sounds good. So let's, I guess technically it's part of the backend. I'll do a JS hello.js again. we'll just log hi, and then we need some build file. And the build file will contain some contents. The specific contents should be this. And this might fail if it's true that this thing doesn't exist. This Node.js binary object. So this is, it can't resolve the repository, which is not the error I was expecting. Wait a minute, didn't I have... Here, I put this in the wrong place. Okay. So this seems to be the deprecated thing that they were trying to link to, but doesn't seem to actually be in the README. Let's see when this was created. Last year, 2 days ago. Okay. So it looks like maybe when I did it before, perhaps there was a release that wasn't up to date and it allowed me to do the old stuff. Is that what's going on? Let's see when their releases are. June 8. And when did I record this? This thing was recorded in August. So what, August 12th? Let's see if I have a commit from around then. No. What about if I just go here and I look at the very first patch set? That would be August 21. Okay. At any rate, it doesn't seem like I'm supposed to be using it, even if it works, which it probably doesn't anymore. Maybe it can be blank. So I guess I have to use this aspect thing. Okay, so let's see. Here in this video from a few weeks ago, I was using 16.13.2 as the Node version, and the rules Node.js I was using 4.6.1. Let's see how long ago that was released. A long time ago. How was I doing that? Did I just copy it from someone? I must have just copied it from some website or something. Am I reading that correctly? 461 and rules underscore node.js. Okay, so unfortunately I have to use the aspect thingamajiggy, which is called something slightly different. Is this it or is this the old one? I think this is the current one. Here, rules underscore JS, I guess, right? Okay. Now, the unfortunate thing is this, I think they try to do fancy things that are not very Bazel-y, if I remember correctly. And they force a lot of restrictions on how you organize your code, which is also un-Bazel-y. But I guess this is the way to do it. Yeah, this is hideously ugly. Sorry, aspect, whoever. I feel like people try to build new ecosystems on top of Bazel, and in the open source world. And it's one of the reasons maybe that people, I don't know. All right. Somewhere I import a JS binary thing, right? Okay. Like I've seen stuff where people are like, let's implement all of the shell functions as Bazel rules instead of writing stuff in Starlark, and then you end up not really being much better than GNU Make, because at the end of the day you're running everything in shell scripts and you don't have like visibility into what's going on. Okay, enough griping. So I have to somehow import this into my workspace. I should be using Bazel modules, but I can't because one of my dependencies is really old, and I have to like rewrite the dependency before I upgrade to the new stuff. What is all this stuff? What is the difference between a JS binary and a JS run binary? I assume that what I want is actually a JS run binary, but who knows? I'll keep it as JS binary for now and see what happens. Okay. So this is downloading the archive. This is loading some rules dependencies, or rather loading the function. This is actually loading the dependencies. This is registering a JavaScript toolchain with the default node version. I don't know what that string resolves to. This is something about translate lock, something about the lock file and maybe where it is. I don't know what npm rc is. Maybe rc in the sense of config. And I guess at least this is configurable. I would like to just pipe it in. Like here, you can pipe in the build file content, just having it in this folder, so I don't have to like pollute my directory with a bunch of dot files. Is that possible? Let's find out. npm translate lock. I'm going to guess you have to have a file. And why is it called translate? Repository macro to generate starlock code from a lock file. Okay, in most repositories, it would be an impossible maintenance burden to manually declare all the npm import rules. This helper generates an external repository containing a helper starlock module, which applies a loadable macro. Okay, so maybe I don't need this. Maybe this is what was causing me issues before, because I had copied code that told it to look for something, and I didn't provide it. So let's just get rid of that. And I don't know what this is doing. This may require, this npm repository stuff might require this having properly called npm translate lock. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's any examples of using npm import. Okay. So it looks like at least in theory, I can manually import things, and then it won't try to generate a bunch of code as much, perhaps. We can get rid of this rules node.js if we're not using it. Okay, and then the input file doesn't exist, which is expected because I told it to look for a file that wasn't there. I don't know why this binary has a name like run script. I guess that's an okay name. I don't know why it needs a separate entry point, as well as data. Shouldn't data be something like a source? I don't know. Okay, so I can build it. Whether I can run it, I'm not sure. It says it ran, and I get hi printed out. Okay, so far so good. And then if I save the file and run it again, then it recompiles or whatever npm is doing under the hood. All right, good. That was tedious and boring. Thanks for sticking around for those of you that did. And let's get to implementing the whatever I'm gonna call it. All right. Let's I just have to copy stuff from this Mozilla repo, really. It wants me to npm install Mozilla readability. You can then require it, or for web-based projects, load the readability.js script from your web page. Okay, so now I need to figure out how to add this as an npm, whatever the thing was called. Okay, so I could call it translate lock, which I'm not going to do. I don't want to have a different format for every different language that I'm using. I'd rather have just a single. I'd rather have everything in a single place, because I think what's going to happen is if you have like a lock file for JavaScript, a lock file for Dart, something like a lock file for Haskell, then you're at the mercy of all of those resolution algorithms, and they don't have the unified approach that Bazel is bringing to the table. So even though it's more tedious, I would prefer to have and commit the dependencies all in one place, so that we get the advantages of having the dependencies all in one place. And I forget what the thing is called. Translate lock is the function. Okay, it's just called npm import. I assume you just like give it your version number. Okay, here, perfect. It would be nicer if this was called just SHA-512 instead of integrity. That means that instead of this being like logically part of the thing, they have to parse some string and pop off the first thing and then do the hash. And which case it's easier to make it do crazy things. Now this is like a string type instead of a more proper type, but that's fine. Okay, so I don't know what this means. npm at types node. Let's see if I can find this string on the internet. So they give it a name. I don't know if this is, I'm guessing that the name is something that you give it as a human readable string. So this is the package. And I'm not sure how this is going to be used, but we may change the name depending on how global this string is in the Bazel repo. And I need a version 0.5.0. This is maybe TypeScript. Is that what this means? This package contains built-in TypeScript declarations. Okay. 0.5.0, and then we need some SHA hash. Which may not be readily available. I don't know what this comment is. Is the comment the commit? 0e7? Yeah, okay, I don't want that. All right, we'll try with the wrong hash and see what error message we get. We might get an error message that tells us what the correct hash should be. And we'll just call it readability. I don't know what we require. Do I require at Mozilla readability? I'm guessing I just require readability. And I don't know if JavaScript will fail if I have a not working thing that I don't use. Okay, so npm import is not defined. I have to figure out why. Presumably I load it from somewhere. Maybe here. All right, so it can't find module readability. Module not found. Okay, that's pretty much expected. Does it matter if I call it at Mozilla slash? No, I probably have to add it somehow as a dependency. That's not going to work, but there's no, oh, I think it's called deps anyway. But there are no deps in a JS binary rule. So how do you know what the dependencies are? How about we look at the docs for this aspect rules JS thing? Or not? I thought I had them open. Look, reference the location where the Acorn npm module was linked in the root Bazel package. Why is it a data? Why is this not a dependency? Change dir. By default, it runs in the root of the output tree. Why would you need to change directory? Runtime dependencies. This should be a depth. Aye. So this will not work. I think that I have to like somehow. How did they do it? They had it like pointing to some specific directory. Ooh, that's ugly. Is there an alternative thing? So Bazel, npm. So this may be where I need to do their key lock file thing. This translate. I don't know if I've configured where where it wants me to output these things. These should not be in the working directory unless I've put them there. Is it generating? Let's look in the let's look in their examples. maybe npm deps. Yikes. What on earth? I'll try this colon node modules thing. Okay, so that didn't work. I'm not surprised that didn't work. So I think somewhere they have to configure npm link all packages. Let's see if I can find in the Bazel source tree where readability went. Yeah, it seems like let's try doing this. Okay, so this is saying that it can't find the repository npm. Here. And the examples doesn't, do they have their own workspace? They should, right? No. Do they have their own Bazel mod thing? It seems like they might be using the workspace of the whole repo. Which is not great. So is this the npm thing? I don't know. Let's see if there's any documentation for, was it something all? npm link all packages. Okay, so the link all package thing is maybe generated by translate lock. Okay. This is really bad. It's all like spaghetti. My other option is just to not use Bazel for this at all. Is that better? It might be better. Let's at least get Bazel set up for it, and then we can maybe optimize by either writing our own stuff or something. All right, so I'll use this translate lock thing. And I don't have these files. And I need to import it. And I'm guessing that I actually have to use it in order for it to generate this stuff. All right, let's see where they have Acorn. So they do import Acorn here. Although they have a package. They have a thing that says package. Maybe I can just do this. And I'm not sure what use repo means. Maybe I need use repo as well. No, okay, so package is correct. I don't know if I need root package. Okay, so it says it's not, seems like progress. It says it's not declared in some package empty string. So let's try this use package stuff. Use repo rather. I don't think npm is defined. Does it need to be defined first? The name of the repository should contain the version number. The name of this repository. So is name supposed to be the name of the repository? Maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. Great success. All right, and so here's the checksum. But this doesn't look like the SHA thing. We have ZJ something or other. So what's that about? It says checksum was this thing, but wanted something else. So the integrity says expected checksums of the file in sub resource integrity format. So is this a general format? Yeah. Okay. So this is a thing that that at least Mozilla is aware of. Using content delivery networks. Okay. So this is not this is a format that seems to exist. And is, is hideously ugly. Okay, so, but what I don't understand is where is it getting this, um, this checksum when this is not what I told it to look for? I don't know. But what if I just, what if I just do that? Okay, so it does want me to specify the SHA. I don't know how we got from a SHA to a checksum. Unsupported checksum algorithm. I wonder if this is from Bazel. Where's that error message again? So this seems to be at least a thing from Node from the other Node.js rules. Are they? Is that where it comes from? The log file inconsistently mixes SHA-1 and SHA-256 integrity checksums.